What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit. I'm moving at extreme speeds right now, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Yoshii. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Set. His name is Grass and Groom. Grass and Groom. The map is Frozen Wastes, and yes, this is simply just put a random Boobly ladder game. Yoshii being one of the best players, Grass and Groom being probably a top 20 player now. He's really moving up in those ranks, winning a lot of really good games against a lot of players, and we've got a powerhouse matchup for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I love this matchup from the Set point of view. I reckon of all of the gods in the game, Set is one of the best, if not the best, against the Norse gods. Set has got so many different, very fun strategies that he can do to get advantages against Norse. And I'm interested to see if Grass and Groom's going to be going for any of them in this game. He does have a slightly different build order to me at the start, which is completely fine. It is. Don't get me wrong, you can do what you want, when you want, how you want. Just know that you're wrong. Alrighty, so Yoshii, on the other hand, he's doing all of the good things, except for having a little bit of idle villager time there as he's been wandering all the way over to this food. I'm not 100% sure why he decided to leave his caribou here. This caribou is right at the front of his base, which is super open, super easy to raid. Just as easy to raid as this hunt over here is. So I'm not sure what the reasoning is here from Yoshii. Maybe he's got a plan. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Villagers jumping onto the gold right now, trying to get that gold income to skyrocket a little bit while the Ulfsark's scouting around. This is one of those maps where arguably double Ulfsark is not a bad idea at the start. A lot of the times we only seeing one Ulfsark out by Norse players on this map, but if you take a look at the map, and right away, I mean, there doesn't seem like that much that many herdables left at the moment, but there are a lot of herdables on the map. And you want to be picking up as many of them as you possibly can. If we take a look at what Grass and Groom's got, because he went really hard on the scouting for his own herdables at the start of the game, he's managed to find 13, which is a huge amount. He's chucking down his temple. He doesn't have a monument up just yet. He's bringing his walrus back. Definitely something that Set players need to do more often is eat the food that they convert. This is the economic advantage which Set has. Every Egyptian god has an economic advantage in one way, shape, or form. The Isis player gets prosperity and gets the cheaper upgrades. The Ra player gets rain with the faster farming, and Set gets 0 walking time for his villagers, and also, the more importantly, Pharaoh being able to create hunt for him in his home base, nice and safe. We are seeing walls coming up now for Grass and Groom up here as the houses are coming down, and he's going to be looking to protect this gold mine, make sure that Yoshi's not going to be raiding him too much. This isn't something that I would worry about too much here with this sentry tower on this location. You could probably get away with some wolves much later here, and you're going to be completely fine against anything that Yoshi's going to do early game. But Yoshii is kind of known for super aggressive early game shenanigans, especially when he's playing me. Anyways, we'll see what he's going to do. He's built his temple in his home base. He's going up through Freya. He's advancing fairly late. He's moving around the map, going to try and eat these walrus, eat as much food as he possibly can before moving back onto this position. Again, this is a problem that I'm seeing for Yoshii in this game. It's just this hunt is exposed. It's not like safe hunt for him, and I'm not sure why he's decided not to eat that. But here's the more prominent issue. Grass and Groom is going Tar. On this map, Tar doesn't make any sense at all. You've got a metric shit ton of goats. You want the Anubites against Odin. And you're probably never going to farm here in this matchup. If you're farming, chances are you've lost the game. This is the cold, stark reality, as we are seeing double barracks dropping for Grass and Groom. That is the cold, stark reality of Set in this matchup, is that you just don't want to farm ever. And see what you can do. But Barracks coming down. That's going to be immediate pressure onto Yoshii. Now, if I see this as the Odin player and I see those barracks, which he's seen immediately, first thing I'm actually thinking about doing here is getting a second town center. This doesn't work 100% of the time, and especially not on a map like Frozen Waste, but I at least think about it here and say, is this possible? Can I get this town center? Can I eat these walrus under this town center or not? We'll see if that's what Yoshi's going to go for. He's already got himself 5 villages on the wood there, and he's throwing up a longhouse. So maybe a delayed second town center, potentially. We'll see how it's going to go. Grass and Groom's already getting himself out some axemen, getting himself out some spearmen, and seeing what he's going to do with this. And there looks like, it does look like a cheeky shifting sands is possibly going to happen here. This is going to be absolutely brutal as Yoshi's got his Valkyrie over here defending, but there's the shifting sands. The villager is going to be retreating away. That's going to be at least 1 villager kill there. We do see the forest fire getting dropped out, and not even 1 villager kill. Somehow, some way, Yoshii manages to avoid certain death there. The defensive forest fire, an absolute clutch play by Yoshii there to keep his units alive, his villagers alive, and they're going to move their way all the way back home onto this caribou. He doesn't even lose the ox cart. That there was one of the most clutch plays I've seen in a very, very long time. Thank you so much for the 4 months. Sneaky Bros, long time no see. I hope your YouTubing is going well. If you guys aren't aware of who this man is, we had a coaching session yonder, way back in the early days of the channel, and I can't 100% remember what the content, Minecraft. The content that Sneaky Bros made. He's got some stuff on YouTube. Go check him out. Fantastic human. That is for sure. As well, Grass and Groom just trying to poke in on this caribou, like I said, was going to be an issue. One thing that Grass and Groom hasn't got right now, which would be very, very helpful to him, is this upgrade in the temple, the Hands of the Pharaoh, giving your priests extra 2 range, but more importantly, giving your Pharaoh that full damage against villagers so that he can push in and get this damage done. I feel like Yoshii is getting away with a little bit of murder here as he's managing to hold on to this location. I don't think that this army that Yoshii has managed to muster would beat the axemen which Grass and Groom's got. As we are seeing, there's Yoshii pushing out, and he's very scared as the axemen are moving in, especially with the help of the Pharaoh in the back there to take out some of those throwing axemen. As more are going to be coming in. One thing that Grass and Groom can try now is to start making some slingers, which he is doing. Slingers, one of those units you don't normally see getting built, unless maybe sometimes versus Atlantean. But Set does get the bonus with slingers. They cost a little bit less. No, they don't cost a little bit less. They the chariot archers, no. They just train faster and have 6.5 more hit points, which actually ends up being a decent amount as the army is moving in. But the Pharaoh gets pulled back for some reason. That Pharaoh is a big ticket unit in these fights as the axemen getting sniped down here by those throwing axemen. The throwing axemen able to get on top of the hill so very, very nicely as the priest and the slinger need to be focusing down those throwing axemen. And as this happens, Yoshii manages to very calmly, collectively hold Grass and Groom's early pressure here. And while this is going on, Grass and Groom is actually going for a second town center behind this. This is a scratch my head type of moment here. If you think about Age of Mythology theory and why we pick up second town centers when we pick them up, the whole reason for picking up a second town center is to get your economy bigger. But what happens is, with the town center, it takes about 5 minutes roughly for the town center to really kick into overdrive and start doing, having itself being paid off. Because not only do you pay 700 resources for the town center, but you're also paying an extra 50 food per villager. So that increases up from 700 resources up to like an extra 200 resources per minute. So then you have to take that into account as the villagers have to then pay for themselves off. Obviously, in the long run, it's better. But there is a significant timing at which a second town center player is going to be behind, which means that a one town center player here, like Yoshii, who's going to be going through Njord here, I love this play. He's got at least 5 minutes here where he should have more resources to put into military and tech than his opponent does. That is the big thing to think about when you see your opponent getting a town center, and that's a big reason why we see the town center getting grabbed so absurdly early normally. As maybe Yoshi's going to think about getting his own second town center here. I would prefer him to spam units and go for this timing attack. But this is why we see the early second town center gets grabbed so absurdly early, because it's really, really hard to punish it given that 5 minute ish advantage that you normally have, because you just don't have that many more resources. But if you are getting it 8 minutes, then that means that now we're looking at 13 minutes as the time when you start seeing an advantage. And well, that's just what it is, as we are seeing the settlement here getting pushed back. The slingers making a big move in. Grass and Groom has managed to spot this, but there is some sort of a surround coming. Couple of raiding cavalry in the back here to target down these slingers, as now Yoshii is going to make a big push in here. There are a handful of priests who are going to want to retreat back here in order to defend against this potential push, which Yoshii is going to attempt to do right now. He's going to have the walking woods to throw down. Those priests are going to be very, very difficult to take out underneath that town center, and Yoshi's going to pull back, just take his time here, whereas Grass and Groom effectively just spamming slingers at this point, which is not going to help him out a lot when the Huskarls start coming in, and also Ulfsark start coming in. Effectively here, Yoshi's going to stop making those throwing axemen altogether. And oh my god, Yoshii gets an immediate second mountain giant here as well, as the walking pines make their way in. They're going to be taking a lot of damage here from the priest and the pharaoh. The slingers here currently targeting down the units as the mountain giant wanders in here. The throwing axemen going to do a whole bunch of damage on the back here. Those slingers need to micro to take down those throwing axemen much better. We do see the pharaoh popping around on this side, but it's going to be too little too late. No way to hold that town center in this position, as Yoshii has managed to make a very significant push through this army. Lots of resources in the bank here, as the granary going down as well. Random pharaoh in the on the side here might get taken out as well by the mountain giant, as he gets left behind, left for dead. What kind of a civilization leaves their king there to face a mountain giant? Grass and Groom's civilization. That's what kind. As he has to retreat back. He's going up through Nephthys. He's had a slight villager bonus over his opponent. How long did he have that town center for? Maybe 3 minutes. So maybe he's had 3 minutes of extra villager production. Yoshi's going to catch up on that villager production very quickly now that he's on 2 town centers. But he's also got such a huge advantage now. 3 mountain giants out for Yoshii. This guy is absolutely insane. He is going to absolutely smoke through these buildings, and that's going to be all of Grass and Groom's population or production getting taken out. We're seeing a Migdol stronghold getting dropped here, a marker getting dropped as well, as Grass and Groom probably feeling like, oh, I can't even get a second gold mine at this point, as Yoshii has managed to secure this location over here. Yeah. He's got his villagers over here as well, so he might even be able to jump onto this gold mine to get free population line of sight of that gold mine as well. As another hill fort getting dropped. Very smart here. Start making those Huskarl. No need to make farms here. You can go all onto wood and then continue the pressure. As you're taking out those barracks, that means there's not going to be any axemen to really do anything here. And the barracks getting taken down so quickly, as the units pushing in, and their house is going to be taken down after this one as well, it would seem, as Yoshii, he's got so much stuff here. Gonna be able to take that house down very quickly. The Hearser swinging around, gonna be taking out those giraffes. Have set very fast. The Pharaoh has been reborn here for Grass and Groom. Grass and Groom with lots of food on the bank, having to cast his ancestors here to hold on as the mountain giants are getting taken out. The random, what's this, scorpion men getting chased down here as well, as the priests doing a lot of damage to those myth units of Yoshii, and this push here seemingly being put to rest. But how much damage really? Was this worth it? Now Grass and Groom has got no ancestors remaining. The villagers do sneak this gold mine, which I do absolutely love. Yoshi's got no idea that there's even a gold mine there, let alone a Grass and Groom gold mine. And more buildings getting thrown up. We're going to see a marker getting thrown. This is a textbook Ragnarok that Yoshii can pull right now, as his market's going to go up. He's going to be able to get gold control. No problems there. The villagers do spot these villagers on this gold mine over here. Whether or not he noticed that is another question, though. He did get into range, but he didn't spot the gold mine there as the hyena gets taken out. Oh, Polar Berry might have spotted that one. You never know. And we've still got a little bit of population to gain here. A little bit of time for Grass and Groom to try and get back into this game. We'll see if he can get some villager kills, or if he's just going to focus on these hill forts, trying to get some sort of pressure, some sort of foothold back in this game. Not making any units at home anymore. Might want to be making a handful of those fire giant as soon as he's hitting Balder, and then clicking Ragnarok here. And then going for the gold staff. We'll see how that's going to go. Grass and Groom, on the other hand, he's got some decent resources now. He might just want to start spamming military buildings in his base, and then utilizing the market to sell food for gold, and trying to survive with chariot archers in his base, and a handful of priests might be the only way at this point, as Yoshii is just hammering out those villagers. Has a ton. I don't think he's really lost one in this game thus far, as Yoshi's now making his way up to the top side of the map. He still has not spotted that this gold mine is being grabbed right now. He's got no idea, and he is going to be checking this gold mine over here with only a handful of units. Let's see where Yoshi's sending these units right to this gold mine. He will see only a handful, and we'll see what he's going to do with that, as the Balder just about to hit here. Very scary. 15 minutes into the game, Yoshii might want to consider a third town center here. He's got a handful of population left, but that's going to be taken up by the fire giant, and he is going to hit a very brutal very brutal Ragnarok here if he so chooses to click it. He has started a trade route of some description. He's got himself one ox caravan, which is at least something to get him resources if this all peters out a little bit. We are seeing the villagers turning around trying to fight this a little bit, but the Huskar coming over here going to do a ton of damage. Huskar have got high HP, high damage, and it's very hard for villagers to kill them off because they're just very, very strong. But it does seem like those Huskar are getting taken out, and I guess Yoshii doesn't necessarily need to click Ragnarok right away, but I'm not sure what he's waiting on. Maybe just armory upgrades, see if he can get himself iron shields or something like that before he clicks up. Making those fire giants out as well. Stop making production of everything else and get those fire giants out would be brutal. This is set, as we've haven't really discussed, but it is set, and set does have a very, very difficult time dealing with fire giants, as we're seeing Horus come through. That's a pretty ballsy move from Grass and Groom. I probably would have gone for like mass buildings and made like heavy axemen or something, and chariot archers in my base. Tried to hold, but Grass and Groom going for the Mythic Age. He's going to have access to all of those rhinos of Set, hippos of Set, Avenger, more axemen. We are seeing the army still trying to push through here as Grass and Groom's army very, very strong. We did see a tornado onto this position, going to be able to take down the hill fort. It would seem, as Grass and Groom realize there's probably not much use in hitting anything else, but Yoshi's still just taking this slowly, getting himself fortified town centers. There's the iron shields coming through. Those fire giants are just about to all pop out, as he's going to have 3 fire giants. The villagers getting pushed off this gold mine for the time being, as well as Grass and Groom. He's sitting at 88 of 115 population, making chariots and axemen here, which are great and all, but they do get absolutely brutalized by fire giant, as there is only one priest here. It does not have funeral rites. There's an Avenger here as well, as the other fire giant joins the party. Yoshii now 120 or 140 population, no more ability to really make any units, so he's having to make those those throwing axemen, and he's really not going to want to click Ragnarok just yet, so he's still biding his time, waiting to get up to full supply here. For Fire Giant now, you will see absolute carnage from these Fire Giant specials onto these units that get clumped up here, as the Avenger going to come in, and that's going to get taken out so absurdly fast by the Fire Giant. We will be seeing the Avenger retreating away, but you can't dodge Fire Giant specials. They have a... Oh, I told a lie. They have 100% accuracy. I did not tell a lie. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, Hannah Rain. Appreciate you. Welcome, Punk Star. Hope you're having a good day. My golly gosh, Yoshi still making the slow push with these Fire Giant. Effectively, he just is mass Fire Giant here. 119 of 140 population. Still haven't seen any real production of more military buildings here, as Grass and Groom is trying his darnest to create an army that does something in this game. See the Chariot Archers making their way over here, and this might force the Ragnarok, and there he goes, casting said Ragnarok. He still has these Ox Caravan doing a little bit of something for him. Lots of resources in the bag. We're going to see those longhouses getting dropped. He can buy a little bit of food if he wants to drop this town center. 280 population for Yoshii to Grass and Groom's 98 population. The villagers getting pulled back into the main base here, and Grass and Groom is just going to turtle as best as he possibly can. However, the problem for Grass and Groom is he does not have any income. Now, he could make some hippo offset and eat those, such that he could at least be gathering food and selling that, but the Fire Giants wandering in here, this special attack is going to be absolutely nuts. There's a whole bunch of those military units there of Grass and Groom get absolutely torn to pieces. The Heroes of Ragnarok coming in on the back, going to be able to snipe down the Pharaoh immediately, as the swarm of units moving in to Grass and Groom's base is overwhelming. 57% pierce armor from having those iron shields. The Migdol stronghold going to be falling incredibly quickly. The Fire Giants having that little bit of crush damage to go along with that incredibly high hack damage. And it looks to me as if Grass and Groom has got nothing left. 50 population remaining. All of the units getting taken down here, as Grass and Groom does tap out in this game. GG. Well played by Yoshii. A textbook punish of a delayed second town center here of a set player. Classical age. There was such an opportunity here for Grass and Groom to go hard classical fight and target this location. Seeing the hunt here, all of that hunt being exposed, had Grass and Groom gotten axemen, spearmen, slingers, just got 115 population of classical army, I don't feel like Yoshii defends his hunt. So then he has to retreat into his base and eat those herdables, and then you can race to the Mythic Age, click Tornado on the Odin, and I'm not sure 100% what he could do. But I mean, all in all, the defense from that Shifting Sands was beautiful, keeping all those villages alive, utilizing Forest Fire defensively to prevent the army from chasing after those villages. And then the Njord push to counter that was just, Yoshii, a man after my own heart. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you guys are on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.